Hey, Dom, how we doing, sir?
Hey Eric, how are you? I'm doing okay here. How's everything out your part of the state?
Yeah, not too bad. Some crazy 80-degree weather, just
Oh,
pretty wild.
nice out. Although tonight may be interesting. Power right before the show blinked off and on for a few seconds. So hopefully, I don't know what's going on because it's beautiful outside. I'm hoping the power doesn't interfere with the pod tonight.
Yeah, you just never know. Never know. I thought you were just, messing around and acting like, you didn't want to listen to me. I thought you were just hitting the button, playing around. So all right, but yeah, so if anything happens, technical difficulties and we'll power through it. So no pun intended, I guess. But yeah, so a lot of good stuff. I mean, like I said, decent weather. I've been out. I've had hip surgery, so I'm just plugging along, taking care of doing little things around the house, and just been messing around with our YouTube page and learning how to make YouTube shorts and act like I'm some hip old guy trying to figure this stuff out. So a lot of stuff to learn, so much stuff to learn. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. How's school going for you?
Going well. We are in the fourth 9 weeks. Craziness.
Whew,
Can't believe we're there already.
Yeah. Yeah, I told my partners they have conferences tomorrow night. I said, yeah, I'll shoot you a couple messages, some pictures of me lounging outside because we're supposed to hit close to 90 tomorrow, like 88, 89. So we'll see. But yeah, they're stuck. They're stuck in the building all day long. So yeah, I'm not missing that too
We're
much.
in the 80s tomorrow, I think 70s, 80s, gotcha. But we have storms rolling through. So tomorrow's gonna be a good day to be inside. But our spring break technically started this afternoon because today was our last day until next Tuesday.
Nice. Very good. Yeah, I mean, I guess, we're talking about the positives of the weather, but I guess we should just say thoughts and prayers, T's and P's for all those families in the kind of the tornado belt in the area, because there's been a lot of devastation going on, stuff, the Nashville stuff going on, like a lot of stuff going on in the world. So, counting our blessings as we're going through, but definitely our thoughts and prayers are for all those people going through that, and even the teachers going through different things. So,
definitely appreciate what we have and hope for the best for those that are going through rough times.
Definitely. But, we're together. It's odd because it's the first Tuesday, so it feels a little different.
Yeah.
But I think it's time we kind of kick something off. What do you think?
I think we should probably fire up the PAECT pod.
Let's roll. Welcome to the PAECT Pod, a show, the PAECT organization and educational technology that we share about. My name is Eric Verno. I'm the vice president of PAECT, and with me tonight, as always, my co-host,
Dom Salvucci. I'm the regional director for the Southwest region of PAECT.
Yeah, so we episode 23. Again, I know we've had a lot of different little mini commercials. We've had a lot of different things going on, but yeah, our 23rd episode, and even though we've started to feel comfortable, we've switched some things up. What do we got going on, Dom?
Well, besides I'm in a different location,
he moved on.
Trying some different apps, some different equipment, different setup for the show. We are going, instead of one night a month with guests and events and tech tools and
jolly banter
and miscellaneous other things and comments from the viewers, we're breaking it up to try and streamline things. And instead of being on for over an hour each clip, which is still going to be hard to do with two Italians at the helm, try to streamline the show a bit and break it up. Do one show on a Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, and have third Tuesday of the month have our guest on and preview PAECT members and things going on with our special guests.
Yeah, and hopefully, cut down the content a little bit so it's not so much at one shot, and people are able to kind of fit it in their drive to and from work. But yeah, and trying to get comfortable in the new digs. I don't know how many times we've gone back and forth that Dom's had to set me straight with. This isn't the week we have a guest. So if you've noticed on our socials, I pushed out this morning and I mentioned our guest. So our guest next week is going to be
2 weeks. 2 weeks next
show.
2
weeks. Our next show is going to be who?
I have to go through my notes.
Leslie Westner. Leslie Westner will be joining us. I mean, I believe you met her at was it which conference was that?
The Hope Through Joy Conference, Western Pennsylvania Council of Teachers of English. We were down there. We had a PACT table set up. Saw a lot of PACT members and some college professors who have in the past hosted student chapters. Got to touch base with them, and it was nice. Got to meet. There's a bunch of programs going on in Western Pennsylvania, but they also go statewide. Student literature. I'm going to put this student literature initiatives, contests. We have film in class initiatives going on. So it's pretty cool. There was a lot going on there at the conference, and I got to touch base with a lot of people, and we're going to have them on to talk about things. Awesome. And broadcast, because it's student focused, student center contests, writing and such, student playwrights. So it'll be pretty cool.
No, very cool. Yeah. So unfortunately, we always like to bring in smarter people than us and more, entertaining or succinct than us to have a conversation. But tonight, you're stuck with us. Yes. So that's what you get. You get the east and west, east side, west side, a little, I'm blanking the football movie. Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
East side, west side. So, yeah, so they get a little action there. So, all right. So we're going to kind of go through, talk about PACT, some events that maybe if there's anything that you kind of, had and went through during the month of March, look at what's coming in April, and go through kind of looking at the calendars and just kind of prepping people for if they're trying to like work on, what can I do? What can I set aside? So we got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get the calendar pulled up. Nice.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like it's not my first rodeo. All right. So we've got, kicking off in April, right? We got the pod. And then so our state board has virtual meetings. We have in-person meetings. So we've got our virtual meeting next week. And then, April 18th. Whoo, buddy. That is a jam-packed. We kick off with the pod. And then we have teaching in a chat GPT world. And that's awesome. It's virtual. It's Zoom. So click in here. All right. So Jennifer Friedman's going to be talking and sharing. So I don't know, only one registered so far. I'm going to be signing up for that, but definitely looks like it's going to be worthwhile. It'll tie into some things we're going to talk about tonight as well, Dom. Yes. So that looks like a good event. So we'll have to make sure then we have the extra mile rewards in our Northwest. And then we have our higher ed group, our TERS Symposium 2023 in Bloomsburg University. I haven't decided whether I'm going to try to make it up there just to pop in and see things. But Lynn Hummel, who does a lot of work with our higher ed and our ACT rep, have an awesome program set up. And that's going to be happening on the campus of Bloomsburg University on the 22nd.
Yes. That's some good events, some very good events coming up.
Yeah. And then going through, if there's anything in our regional glides, kind of go through January, the months that have passed. February, March.
Well, I do want to bring up something. It's not on there yet because I just got the information. Sunday, Southwest region, and this is a remake learning event. We had some of our KTIs, the Keystone Technology Innovators, our stars, reached out at Avonworth High School. In fact, let me share my screen here.
Oh, I meant to remove mine. Put yours back up there.
And I'm working off of an iPad here, so I'm doing multiple screens. It's craziness. I didn't think I had this kind of dexterity. Fred Camp.
Oh, so, that's right. Yes.
When you wonder you're learning, it is May 20th. And it is right down 79. So if you're in the Northwest region, if you're in the Southwest region, it's right off an interstate. Even if you're South Central, North Central, shoot across 80, shoot across the turnpike, head south on 79, and it's right off the exit. Easy to get to. It's May 20th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and the cost is perfect. It is free. I'll have this posted on PAECT.org. Click on it. That's not where you're going to register, though, because it is through Remake Learning, and they're working on all the logistics. What we're going to do, it's geared towards adults, so it's not for kids, even though it's a Mr. Rogers themed event. You can see they're looking about the arts, maker spaces, outdoor learning, science, technology, youth voice. It's the Fred method for educators It's free, but go in, register so they know who to expect, how many people to expect, and they could treat you right.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, the
So,
book was great. When you're Wonder, You're Learning. We had the book club that went through second year running, and just more people being touched by that, and the great
yes.
work that Greg and Ryan are doing, and with writing that book and putting that together and organizing these events. So that's awesome. So,
and they are going to be there from what I understand. So you're going to meet the authors of the book. It's going to be a great time.
And they are, you know, we have a phrase in our house when we talk about people we enjoy being around. We just say they are good people, and Greg and Ryan are good people. They really are.
I've met them in person. I've met them through the through the book studies, and talked to them on Zoom and such, and they're fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, real quick, looking at the glide, there's two things on the glide that weren't on the PAECT calendar. Now to be determined, but it looks like South Central's possibly hosting hosting is the word I'm looking for. Gamification in the classroom. So looking to be an in-person event, Your Turn Cafe. So if you are in the South Central area, reach out to Sue Allen and to try to figure out exactly if they have things set up for that, and check your emails. And then the Fab Lab Makerspace event in Bethlehem, PA. So our Northeast region looks like they have that set up as a tentative April 29th. So again, if you're interested in doing anything there, Karen Staggerwalt would be the Northeast Regional Director, who you can reach out to get more details about that. So some awesome stuff happening in April. So love it when there's a lot of activities going on, especially with this nicer weather breaking, the ability to get out. Definitely nice.
And it's, Remake Learning Days are firing up. We're in that time of year. So, check out PAECT.org, check out the calendar, see what's going on. And, we'll go from there. A lot of events. Yeah.
Always great stuff. Always great stuff. So a lot of great PD opportunities. Just, not only should you check it on the PAECT.org/calendar, the bit.ly/all caps PAECT lowercase events, which gets you to the Glide Show, but you should also check Facebook, our PAECT group on Facebook, our PAECT group on LinkedIn, and our Twitter page. So, at PAECT. So make sure you check, and keep active with those and see what's going on. And I do know we started publicizing things that we have going on at ISTE coming up in this summer, because we are the state affiliates of ISTE. We have a regional playground that's going to be there. A lot of different presenters are going to be presenting every day. And then we also have a little murder mystery going on. And I do know some information was sent out, and it probably would make sense for me to pop it up on my screen here. Let me
While you're doing that,
go ahead.
We do send out a weekly email blast, and we also send out Educational Technology Today. Make sure you're getting that in your email. I know in Gmail, they get pushed into different folders. They're not always in the main folder, so check through with that. If for some reason you're not getting those emails, if they're getting blocked, let your regional director know, and we'll take care of it. We'll find out what's going on and make sure you're getting those emails, because there's a lot of information that's being pushed out through both Educational Technology Today and the weekly blasts. We try not to spam you, so we're not going to hit you with except every once in a while the regional directors forget, and we'll send out like a regional blast or a 2-region blast. We try not to spam statewide too often.
Yeah, you've gotten better, because I don't have my hands in that pot anymore. So, all right, real quick here, we got so PAECT socials that pushed that out yesterday. Help educators find their next clue. Submit a request for a proposal for the Innovator Mystery. So it is a pre-conference session prior to ISTE kicking off. This is hosted on the Saturday. All of your proposals are due by April 16th, but Saturday, June 24th, 1 to 4:30 p.m. $25 registration. And everybody, as long as you're attending ISTE, doesn't matter if you're PAECT or not, open to all attendees. You do have to be attending to be able to be let into the conference center in Philadelphia. So that is some exciting stuff they have going on there. I believe we talked about having Ben Franklin come visit us at Pete and C at Kalahari, talking all about this event and helping to solve the mystery. So a lot of exciting stuff going on there.
Yeah. And I know that Friday going in ISTE, if people are going out early or you're in the Philadelphia area, there is check out PAECT.org for details. But Southeast region, they are hosting a night at the Philadelphia baseball game. I believe they're the Phillies. I'm not positive. I'm not going to throw shade because they do better than the Pirates. So it's been a while since we were in the same. It's been a while since we were in the same. Used to battle each other out.
That's very big of you to say, Dom.
Hey, I that's baseball's one thing I don't argue about anymore. I was, in the 70s, the glory days of the Pirates, and then in the 90s when we were close, and now, it's a great state. It's a great ballpark.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so that'll be an exciting event. That the South Eastern PACT organization is they're hosting that. That's what's going on there. So that'll be exciting as well. Very good. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Good stuff. Yeah. So the other thing too I was going to mention something and I didn't write it down on my notes, so I totally lost it. So we'll get to it in a second. But
we have some viewers going on, but we don't have any comments coming in from our viewers.
Oh, come on, peoples. Post some comments. Oh, that's what I was going to say, kind of going with the viewers. We will be sending out a survey to our membership, something that we do yearly. But one thing we're going to be adding this year is looking for people who might be interested in being on the pod. There's a lot of phenomenal educators. Dom and I just have the unbelievable privilege to host and to be here for you twice a month. But it's not about us. It's about the membership of PACT. So we're going to be asking for anybody, first of all, if there are things that you'd really want us to focus on. Hey, you don't spend enough time on this or that. And just give us that information. But then also, all right, so is there a skilled tech tip, things of that you think would be really good that, people would benefit from? And would you be willing to come on the show and share about it? So it could be live, it could be video, but just for looking for ways to get our membership a little bit more active with the pod.
We're always looking for feedback. We're looking for constructive criticism. I'm wondering, because my neighbor Kevin was like, send me the link because we moved nights. So I don't know if he's one of the three people, but he's always good with giving constructive criticism.
As long as it's positive for me, it's all that matters.
You get all the compliments. He's like,
that's what I like. That's what I like.
Can you make your side of the screen smaller and his side bigger? Can you turn your microphone down, let him talk more? I get those kind of.
Oh, I like it. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. That's funny.
Z's checking in.
Oh yeah, good. Yep, I haven't seen Z in forever. I got to get over to the western side of PA.
Just had an event with her. And she helped bring on a new sponsor. So
that's awesome.
Thanks, Z, for that.
Yeah.
She'd make a great guest on the pod. She does lot of good stuff.
Line it up, Z, because we're gonna force you on no matter what, just so you know.
She's making it to ISTE. That's cool.
There we go. All right. We'll be emailing you. Do some presentation at the playground. We need you, Z. That'd be cool. All right. She's in it to win it.
Cool.
And then the other thing, just I know it's down the road, but Dom and I will also be presenting the PACT pod and showing people how it is that we do what we do. Sometimes it looks like we know what we're doing. Sometimes it doesn't, but in front of the people, just showing them the back end, what it's like, and even how Dom and I kind of switch off producing and putting different things on the screen and switching things up. So a lot of things that go into it. So we'll also have the opportunity to present that as well.
There's a method to the madness. And just so you know, Z, since you put it on the internet, you can't back out now.
It is recorded in multiple places. Very true. Very true. All right. Well, I think it's time for us to kick into. There we go. Okay. All right. So she's on it already. Okay. So we should probably kind of kick into our tech notes. What do you think?
I think that's a good time for the tech notes.
All right. Here we go. All right, Dom. Well, why don't we let you kick it off?
Okay. Now, mine actually piggybacks or dovetails with what you're presenting, but AI has been the rage since November, December. And I came across some things, and I know there's a lot of back and forth, and Eric, you're going to get into some of that with, positive uses with Chat GPT and things of that nature. We've talked about it on previous pods. Well, I was doing a little research and I came across this site that helps you check to see if something that's been written through artificial intelligence or not. It's called GPT-0. I did some research. It was set up by, let me scroll over here on my screen. This is the negatives. There's a problem with the app that detects GPT written text. I scrolled down through it, and they have a very small sample that they were coming back. That was missing, like, out of 8 samples, it would miss 1. But the article about it is from NPR. College student created this app. You can tell whether AI wrote an essay. And I read the article. I read the criticisms. And I figured I'd try it out myself. So it's just like Chat GPT. What you do is you have the area here, and I'm looking down at my screen because I'm working on the iPad here. The computer camera's in front of me. If I go over to something I wrote, here we go. And I grab the script for my podcast I do for my classroom. I'm going to copy it and come back over here to GPT-0, paste it in, get results. And I was kind of hoping I'd be smart enough for it to come back because it was written by artificial intelligence, but no such luck.
Written entirely by a human.
Yes.
And he didn't even say intelligent human. What's that?
Nope,
It's a
didn't
knock
say
on
that.
system. What is that all about?
Just the plain old human.
I'm filing a complaint.
Then the perplexity score. I think I perplexed it a bit. I'm hoping that's good. I'm going to take these burstiness scores as positives because they're really big numbers. They're like my golf score. Really big numbers.
Miniature golf, that is.
Though it doesn't matter.
Whew. Yeah, I know.
So then I went into Chat GPT.
There you go.
And I asked, give me a podcast script for the Cuban Missile Crisis. And it gave me this. So I'm going to copy this and go back to GPT-0. I tried this out earlier and it works. So I'm hoping it works again. Paste it. Get results. Your text may include parts written by AI. So you can do up to 5,000 characters for free. And when I was working on one screen, I grabbed a bigger sample, but it'll go through. And you see the, in the brackets and such, like, that could be a human. But then it picks up what was used. So I've tried this with stuff at school. I've run different tests. It seems to be pretty accurate. And if it's missing, out of 10, it's only missing 1. It's 10%, but that's only 10 samples. Like, out of 100, are you still only missing 1 or are you missing 10 out of 100? So it was a very small sample size and the criticism I saw of it. So this is something I know there's teachers out there that are kind of afraid about what kids are going to do with it. And they don't want to be, have one put over on them, for lack of a better term. But this is a tool that you could use to check things. And, there's a lot that's good with AI, but this is a tool for those people who are hesitant and want to go through and double check things. And it's not 100% guaranteed that you're going to find what you're looking for and it's going to work, but it's not too bad.
Yeah. With all the good, there's all the bad.
Yeah.
It's still people in the back end using it. So the ability that you can share, to go to a teacher and say, hey, look, there is this app. If you have some concerns, just because it's blocked at school doesn't mean it's blocked at home.
Yeah.
If kids are trying to use it, we want to, empower teachers to be able to utilize technology in their classroom to help, benefit students. But we also want to, empower the teachers to be able to use technology for themselves. Like it's twofold, what some things are for the students, some things are for us to help us with our stuff, which kind of dovetails in what I'll be talking about. But giving the teachers this to say, hey, if you have some things and you just have that, you're not sure, pop it in there. I like that. I like that. And what's awesome is a student. It said a student made it, right?
Yeah. College
How
student.
is that? Yeah, college
pretty
student.
well.
That is
And
all.
we're going to tack this wakelet in. We have some information on Chat GPT and Zero GPT. And this wakelet will be attached into the descriptions of our video and our podcast. So it'll be on YouTube, and it'll be on Spotify and everything else. Give us a few days to get that in and get everything organized, but that'll be in there. The resources, we're going to start pushing these out. Another change with the show, we've done it in some past shows. We're going to try and get the wakelets out and attached into the videos in the audio files for you guys, so you can look at the resources we discuss during, at your leisure. We talk about it, then you can play with this stuff on your own.
Yeah, so gpt0.me. Love it. Good stuff.
Thank
all right,
you, sir.
A good kickoff to the tech notes. All right, here we go. All right, let's kick in the tech note number 2. So again, sticking with that theme of ChatGPT, first of all, maybe you're like, you know what, how do I even find this? There's a lot going on with Web 3.0 and where do you find Web 3 and different things like, hey, you just start by searching. So got us kicked off here, just got real quick. Literally, I just go in, I'll do ChatGPT. All right, and I always go to where I see Open AI. So you click that link, takes you here. All right, and then you'll go down here where it says, okay, do I want to try ChatGPT? And it is beneficial with the Open AI if you create an account. So there are times, if you've heard in the news, where the servers have been overloaded. ChatGPT 4.0 is out now, so they're trying to pull and got a lot of resources there. So sometimes this will go down just because of overuse. But I found that I feel like I've actually accessed it a lot more. That I first made sure to set up the Open AI account, which is free. Just connected it with my Google. So I have that set. When you click it, it'll kick you into the Chat GPT section. And what I love is when you have that account, different things that you've looked up, it kind of keeps them there for you, so you can go back, all right, and look up different information. And you want to do a new chat, you type in here, and you put in your prompt, whatever you want. So there's a lot of videos out there, a lot of information out there about how do you want to craft a prompt. So again, with this time where I'm off of school for a while, we're getting in that realm of, PSSAs coming up in Pennsylvania. I teach 6th grade math. So I was like, you know what? I wonder what ChatGPT could do here. So I'm going to pull up walk us through a chat that I did already. All right. Pull up some things here. There you go. Math problems for PSSA. And what's wild is when you go through and do this, it actually gives it a title for yourself. You can go ahead and change it. So I just started off with, okay, we all know, create 5 math problems based on PSSA problems where the student can't use a calculator. So PSSA always starts with the first 5 problems. Kids aren't allowed to use a calculator. They answer it. They had the little red sticker that you used to put on the booklet. Now we have the online version, but you move on from that. It's like a virtual sticker now that you do, and you do on the test booklet kind of a thing. If the kids have that copy to look at as well. So it just gave me some basic, the value of fraction plus a fraction, rectangle, the length of the rectangle is 6 centimeters, its perimeter is 24. What's the width? So it kind of walked me through some basics. I'm like, all right. Then I was like, wait a minute. The PSSA gives multiple choice. So that was I already gave it that. So it remember that. So now the next one I said, well, create 4 multiple choice options for each problem. So then it took each problem and then gave me 4 multiple choice problems. So again, like I'm utilizing it. Again, there's tech for the students, there's tech for the teachers. If I can come up with some new questions, we get those exemplars every year and we pull it off and we use those and kind of, roll that into our classroom during rotations. But this is just a way where I can come up with some fresh content without spending hours thinking of different questions.
Yeah.
So again, it gives me these multiple choice questions. I was like, okay. So I mentioned PSSA, but I wasn't specific about 6th grade PA math standards. So I said, okay, create the questions based off of, again, I already asked it for 5 that you're not allowed to use a calculator. I already asked it for, give me the multiple choice options. I've just added another layer, 6th grade PA math standards. So I said, sure, here we go. So a little bit more in depth. All right, kind of going through. And again, depending on your levels of things of that nature, recipe for 4 servings of chocolate chip cookies calls for 2 cups of flour. If you want to make 8 servings, how many cups of flour will you need? All right, so you go through and just look at these. It's just kind of applying it. Now, this is definitely a little bit on a little higher level than those first 5 sometimes are, but again, great questions to give. And even if you pull them for another part and you have your kids use a calculator. So I was like, all right, that was a pretty good test. So we all know they have the lovely open-ended questions. So I was like, all right, so create an open-ended math question that would appear on the PSSA math test that is based off of the 6th grade PA math standards. Again, just not assuming that PSSA, they would know it's 6th grade Pennsylvania math standards. So it says, sure. So it came up with not only the question, all right. So it starts off with, okay, so a pizza place charges $12 for a large pizza with a diameter of 16 inches. They also offer a smaller pizza with a diameter of 12 inches for $8, which is a better value in terms of price per square inch. Explain your reasoning, show your work. All right, okay, that's a pretty good question. But what I love is it actually gave it says the question assesses students' ability to apply their knowledge of area and circumference of circles, as well as their ability to compare and evaluate the value of different options. So it just kind of just goes in a little bit further, giving that information that might be needed. So I was like, okay, some of those word problems get even heavier. So I was like, all right, create another multi-step problem. All right. So now I wanted to give me a little bit more challenging problem. So now it talks about a group of 8 friends are planning a trip to an amusement park. The cost of admission per person is $45. They also plan to rent a locker for their belongings, which costs $8 for the day. They need to be careful with the code, though, right, Dom?
Yes.
You're dealing with lockers at amusement parks.
Yes. You don't want to lose it because if you have a code that's embarrassing, you may have to tell people what it is.
You got to be careful. So they want to buy lunch at the park, which costs $12 per person. Finally, they will split the cost of a souvenir photo, which costs $30. How much money will each friend need to bring for the trip?
I know this. I know this. I know how much it's going to cost each friend.
Oh, okay.
0.
Oh,
what
really?
it's going to cost their parents is a lot of money. Having a teenage daughter.
As Ed McMahon would say, you are correct, sir.
Having a teenage daughter.
That's funny. So, yeah, so then it goes through. Now, I can even go in and say, give me other information. So now I said, okay, I was going back again, and I said, all right, well, what if I wanted to create a test just testing one of our math domains? All right, so still PSSA style. Now we're doing, some common assessments. We're working our curriculum. So I said, okay, just base it off of the ratio proportion domain in the PA state standards. All right, then so we got ratios, the cups of flour, the cups of milk. Okay, again, it's working ratios, it's working proportions. And I didn't have to say, I did say multiple choice questions. So it did give me the ABCD. It didn't remember that from before. All right, so kick that in there. Kind of going fast here. Now, we have gotten into, and I don't know if other schools have as well, but coming up with the depth of knowledge questions. So, if it's just, what's 1/2 plus 1/2, depth of knowledge 1. Now they dig a little deeper, depth of knowledge 2. So I was like, I wonder what ChatGPT would do with this. So create a 6th grade math problem that has a depth of knowledge 2 with 5 multiple choice options. So now Samantha's buying a candy for a school project. She needs to buy bags of gummy bears and bags of jelly beans. Gummy bears cost $1.50. Jelly beans cost $2. She's got a budget she wants to buy. So it's definitely getting, definitely more intricate, more involved. All right. Is it 2 gummy bears, 2 bags of gummies, 4 bags of jelly beans? So it's giving them those 5 choices there. And then talks about what it requires for the student to apply their understanding of money and budgeting, as well as their ability to solve multi-step problems. So again, with all tools, you got the good, you got the bad, you got the ugly, right? You're pulling the different things in. If you've got those concerns, you know what? I'm not going to do it now, but I think one of the tests would be, what if I pull this into the GPT0.me? Was this made by AI? It's quite possible that's going to spit it out. So that'd be an interesting test. But again, that use of me pulling some different things off, I'm trying to look up some different questions. Maybe my students are struggling with dividing fractions. Maybe they're struggling with some different elements that I could just go into ChatGPT, type in, have it pull some stuff. I can give it further prompts, kind of massage the way the questions are. Love it. You could even say, I've done this before where I said, okay, explain why, A, B, D, and E are incorrect answers for that kind of a thing.
Yeah. And I know.
Oh, okay. So I like Z's there. Ask them to generate questions for different subject areas and use the names. So now I'd be curious what your thoughts are there. I know for me, I've kind of hesitated with putting any kind of, I mean, you can use first names, I guess, but I have hesitated with kind of putting any kind of like names in there. But I guess if you just use like a first name, that wouldn't be so bad. Little things like that. You just use.
Yeah, using just the generic first name.
Yeah.
I know, like I some of the English teachers I've worked with, and colleague of mine, Joe Tabe, he was telling me what he's done. He'll go in and he'll post stuff, and he'll ask for going working through disinformation. Another social studies teacher, give me a news article on this topic. Give me 3 critical errors, and push it out to the kids. Here's a news article. There are 3 critical errors, or he'll just say, find their critical errors. Find what you can that's incorrect, and have the kids go through, and helps them judge information. Is it legitimate? Is it misinformation? Why is it misinformation? And what is correct the errors in that. And English teachers have done the same thing, where they'll push out types of writing and sentences. There's misuse of language in here. Find it, correct it, and instead of you going through and typing, and let's face it, a lot of teachers Google information anyway, Google lessons anyway. So in this case, instead of Googling it, we're kind of creating it to our standards, or going out Googling it and then adapting it to personalizing it to our standards. We can do that through this tool instead of having to search Google, which a lot of people do. And I know I've used it asking questions. I need some discussion questions on this topic. The ones I've been using, I have a bunch that I've used over the years. Want something different, you take them and you adjust them to fit. You don't have to use exactly what it gives you, but you could tinker with it and add to it and adjust it as needed. So it is a great resource. It saves time. I'm just waiting for the day. And, from the negative side, Mr. Sal, I didn't get my homework done last night. Like, internet out, power out. No. Dog, get your homework. No. Chat GPT was overloaded. I couldn't get on last night.
Its servers were too burdened to help me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we heard, if you listen to the pod, get on after midnight.
Yep. That's the word there too. So, what's awesome about it, first of all, the AI is here. I am sitting in with a group of educators learning about a company that is looking at doing some things with AI. So I signed an NDA, can't go too much into it, but there's a lot of interest of a lot of different companies doing things. And what a great question that they're asking is, should we or shouldn't we delve into education? A lot of the things are first being open to corporate side, more business or personal. But just being cautious, jumping into the education pool, and I appreciate that. Even though I'm a tech geek and love it, I do appreciate that. Just having that genuine concern, like, let's get some information, let's get some feedback, and that's what that group's all about, which is great. But what I really love is PACT doesn't shy from it. We're diving into it. Dom and I have been working on ever since having the Jess Barberry on the show. We've been doing more investigations, kind of sharing back and forth. Hey, dude, look at what he gave me for this. Look what he gave me for that. Yeah. Even when we were at Pete and C at Kalahari, remember they rolled out AI in Notion. We used that in the back end for our notes. So I typed in like, hey, give me an email to invite people to appear on the show. It spit this all out. Like, so even like those groups, Canva had a big announcement with the AI they're using. Love that app. We do a lot with that. So PACT is right there. We're in it. We're learning it. We're trying to make sure we're getting the best practices. And we've got, people stepping up to do shows. We've got Z coming on here, sharing her insight, which is awesome. Like, PACT is as good as the members, and our members are unbelievable across the board, in state, out of state. Our membership's phenomenal. And, it's kind of like that ed camp feeling, the smartest thing in the room is the room. And that's really what PACT is. So those things, like, post them on socials, tag PACT, tag your regional PACT, pop it on Facebook, kick it in the LinkedIn. Like, again, when that survey comes out, if you are interested in talking about anything and everything, I don't think the concept of AI, well, I know it's not going away. I don't think it can be overdone, because again, it's different avenues, it's different aspects. It's, hey, here's how, Verno could have taken it further with ChatGPT. Well, let's talk about that. Let's share that. Here's how Dom could have went further with that, the GPT zero, right? So, but there's always that information to share. So, and then, again, but like always seeing our membership happy and excited to share. So thank you for that, and Z.
You can reach out to us at pod@pact.org is the email for the show. I know my dad, like, regardless of what your feelings are about AI, my dad had always said, whether you like it or not, be involved with it, because then you have a voice at the table. If you have a seat at the table, you have a voice at the table, and you can help direct things. Sitting back and like, I don't want to learn this, I don't agree with this, then you're out of the conversation, and it's going to go on with or without you. So you might as well have a voice in, whether you're concerned or not, you can help guide it. And that's important. It's good to hear voices. So not everyone's always for everything. It's good to hear differing voices and get differing opinions. There's nothing wrong with that.
Very much. And even the people that are hesitant, like, have you ever seen a squiggle underscore? And whether you're on an Apple product using pages or using numbers, have you ever seen it in Word? Have you ever seen it on Gmail? Oh, that was a very basic form of AI. It was telling you your word was spelled incorrectly. Yeah. How many of us have used Grammarly? That was a basic form of AI. It's just ChatGPT has taken it to they've taken it to another level with what they're doing. Bard is now out with Google. Copilot, Microsoft pushed that out, and then the more of the work side of it, like all the groups are coming out with their different things, so they're just taking it a step up, but we've all used elements of it. So, let's learn it. Let's not shy away from it. And make everybody better by using it.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. So, some good stuff, some good conversation, some good, I appreciate Z, with her thoughts and adding into the different things we're sharing. And I love, looking forward to the conversation and things that are going to happen on, whether it's the YouTube page or the Facebook comments or things that are going to be going there. So always excellent stuff. But yeah, so our goal of splitting up our nights is to make it a little shorter. So, about that 45-minute mark. I know I had a football coach in college, Dom. He was a former NFL coach. He coached with Jerry Glanville back with the Falcons and stuff. And he always had a phrase whenever he would hold meetings. He would say, never give them more than their seats can endure. And so, I always tell my students, I tell them that phrase, and I always say, you're sitting on your butts all day long. So I don't want to do too much talking. I want you up and moving. So I think we're kind of taking the pod on that road. But so we'll let Z get the final word in there. Great. Thank you very much, Z.
Thank you, Z.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. So let's go ahead and, I think it's a good time to kick things off, and we'll make sure we share, information about our sponsors. But, appreciate everybody watching and listening and sharing those comments. So
we had a number of live viewers. I think we're up over 7 if the ticker was correct. So, it's switching nights. We have a lot of people watch or listen after the fact. We appreciate you guys too. Please send us comments, constructive criticism, props, whatever you want. We appreciate the feedback.
Yep. Yeah. Dom's neighbor, Eric.verno@PAECT.org. Send me all the positives you want to. Feel free. Appreciate
I'll get the negatives out on the deck afterwards.
That's right. Yeah,
it's a nice night to go sit out.
You're going to get the briefing later. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it rolls. Love it. So, all right. Well, with our closing remarks, Dom. All right. Remember, man, PAECT.
We are
the voice of EdTech
in Pennsylvania
and
beyond.
Yes, sir. PAECT and the PAECT Pod would like to thank our corporate council sponsors. Thank you to ClassLink, Max Cases, Go Guardian, and Bloom. Thank you to Sam Labs, DRC Data Recognition Corporation, and EduSpire. Tech, the next step. PAECT thanks these sponsors and thanks you for listening to another episode of the PAECT Pod.